day, huh? What a beautiful day we had today. First, just appreciate all the hard work that our kids did throughout the spring. Got 15 great days in, got a lot better, got a lot of concepts in on offense and defense taught, whether it was good to do against a certain defense or good against a certain offense. The main thing is that we're installing. It wasn't like a game plan, for today, even practice today, scrimmage today was not a game plan scrimmage. It's just running things that you want to get better at. You wouldn't maybe necessarily run it against that look. And that's kind of how we go through the whole spring. So happy with all the install and the amount of information and knowledge that our kids picked up. And again, I was happy as heck to get out of the scrimmage healthy. So that's the main thing.
How did you think the new format went today?
Well, that's for you guys. I think it was good. Yeah, I thought it was good. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but I thought there was some continuity out there. What'd you guys think? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Which one do you want to do? Thumbs up? Okay, I got thumbs up. We'll do it again.
Was there ever consideration to put the ones against the ones, offense and defense?
No, I've seen enough of that. I didn't want to do too much of that. I want to get out healthy and again the twos, ones versus twos. And again, there's a lot of guys that are running with the twos that are ones, so we don't feel like it's that big a difference. You lose kind of your substitution when you have two squads going, but nowadays football, you have a lot of guys that are ones. I mean, when you look at the corner position, just for example, like when we go with the ones, it's Marquez, it's AJ, and MJ, and those guys are all ones, and then you have a group of twos, and they're all good football players. And again, that's the same thing for every position. So you're never going to have like, you guys are the ones and that's it.
Basically a safety thing then, right?
What's that?
Basically safety then, like you don't mind.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, we're still looking to see who those guys are, but we're gonna need 3 starting
Safety, health-wise.
Oh, okay. Corner, safety. What about safety?
When you go we don't go one-on-one, you're trying to keep them healthy.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I mean, it's just a little bit different. And again, they get so sick of doing that. When we go to normal Jersey scrimmage, we go about half of it is ones on twos anyway. We start off that way, just to start slow, get them in the flow of things, and then we'll turn it over into a small one-on-one near the end.
PJ had the pick six. He talked about feeding off of what Javon and what Donovan are able to do with that safety position. What does he bring to that room that's unique, and what do you think as this is a capstone as far as the spring goes?
PJ's he's got some juice to him, doesn't he? He can rattle off, and he's got a lot of passion to him. So I was happy. We talked about it yesterday about making some plays, and I said, "You make a play, maybe I'll let you talk to the media." I don't know if he told you that, but so he's probably too excited to get in here because he did make that play. That was a good play, picked off a freshman quarterback. So I always take that into account. I'll bust him about that. But, he didn't pick off Phil or Christian, but he's had a lot of takeovers. I don't know if he had takeovers, things on his helmet today or not. I didn't look at that, but he's had a good spring.
What did you think of Christian on his opening drive?
I thought he looked really sharp. I thought he looked good. He's got a great arm, and he made the plays with his arms. He looked good.
You emphasize turnovers and takeaways a lot, and talking about what you guys look at in the scrimmage. The first and second team offenses protected the ball, while the defense was able to get turnovers late. How did you feel like both sides handled that challenge today?
I think when we got the turnovers, we didn't get the turnovers on defense like we'd like. You had a fumble snap with someone that hasn't taken a lot of snaps under center and got a whole lot of reps during the spring ball. So, I almost said, forget that turnover doesn't count. They take a couple snaps on the sideline, trying to get it going. We're trying to stay in that ACC 2-hour window for television. I thought, our offense did a pretty good job protecting the football. We can protect it, we got a chance to win the football game.
I think we have some questions from the PTS representatives here.
Okay.
The players were having a lot of fun today. How much fun were you having out on the field coaching?
I was out there praying. I was like, just stay healthy. We're having fun. I mean, at the beginning, I kind of got a little grumpy. Maybe is that why you're asking? Because I looked like I was mad at one point.
No, you didn't look bad. You looked serious.
It's not serious, but you want things to be perfect out there. But no, I had a good time. I'm just glad it's over. And we had a better time. We had a great breakfast this morning with all the families, seeing all moms, dads, uncles, aunts. It was a great day.
How impressed were you? With the quarterback play today?
I'm going to watch the tape, and sometimes I think things that I open my mouth, and then watch the tape and go say it's not as good. But there's different plays. We start off, with Phil, and we start off with the reverse, and it was just different stuff. And then I thought then Christian came in, and we got the ball in his hand real quick and gave some quick passes, got the ball in the guy's hands, so, I was impressed with him. I think, Christian's brand new, 15 days into the offense, and Phil's known the offense, and probably didn't get as many snaps today. But I love Nick Yarnall. I love his leadership. I love what he does.
What'd you see from both Carter and Nakai, the two Conway winners? I mean, what did they do to separate themselves this spring?
Yeah, I mean, Nakai, start off with him. He's a guy that, besides some of the strength stuff he did and improving those things, his motor just started turning. He was a guy that, I don't know if it's the light turned on, it started to turn on in the bowl practices and in the bowl game, but it really turned on for spring. I just noticed, the strength that he was playing with. Just watching it in team periods when he's locking his arms out and knocking. He's putting a dent in the offensive line. He's doing it, it's like, whoa, who is that? That's number 4. I haven't seen him do that before. So, it was just, he was making more of an impact on that offensive line. You noticed him in practice. And then it was a consistency thing for him. There's times where you'd see it, then you wouldn't see it for another practice, and you're like, where'd that go? Can we have that back? And he consistently put it together this spring.
Did you see that kind of consistency from Samuel?
I did. I saw it on a lot of guys, Again, Sammy's been here, he's so young that you didn't, maybe wasn't a drop off there. And then to answer the rest of that question with Carter Johnson, he just did a great job, blocking. He's just gotten a lot better. It's, again, another year in the offense for him. He's, a second-year player that I think can make a lot of plays for us. He caught the ball well all spring. He just became a very, very reliable tight end for us.
You've had 15 practices, 3 scrimmages now. Would you say your team is where you hoped it would be by the end of spring ball?
Without a doubt. I think we're sitting in a good place here. And like I said, there's times I'll walk out of spring game. Ryan O'Neal got hurt one time. Desmond Alexander hurt his shoulder. Those are 2 major injuries that happened freakishly. And those are 2. I don't know if you guys remember that because I didn't talk about those injuries, Gary. I'll talk about it now. Both those guys got hurt in the spring game, and I think, and again, just Brian O'Neal got just on a pass protection, just hurt his shoulder, and again, Desmond did something. Just like you got hurt right there. How? So just to come out clean, we're right where we need to be.
How you discussed the water? What's the significance for you to have the Conway work? Show some of the younger guys or any of the guys like want to recognize what you do and the importance of spring ball.
Yeah, I think we've been awarding that since 1974, EJ, I believe, and it's important just to, it's a great award to give out because everybody's kind of fighting to get that, and again, we talk about getting 3% better every day, and we want our guys to improve, and again, I don't know if I mentioned this, but it was voted on by our staff. Everybody in our staff voted on it. We nominated, went through each position, who was the most improved at each position, and then the next day we voted on it as a staff. So it was good to see the majority. They got a majority of those votes.
Are you happy with the roster overall, or are you going to go in the portal and try to supplement it with something?
You're always going to look. I'm always happy. I'm happy with the guys we have on the roster. To be honest with you, we've got 3 scholarships still available right now. So we've got 3, and where's Chris Peak at? Is he here? Is he on vacation?
He's on vacation today, actually.
I thought Chris would know that already. I showed you my cards. So we got 3 already, and but we're not going to just take 3 to take 3. We're going to take the right 3. And I think Bill Belichick had a nice quote. He said it's not about what was the quote? It's not about 50. It's not about the best 53. It's about the right 53. And we want to make sure we get the right 53.
So do you think that those scholarships will be filled by players from the transfer portal or from high school recruitment?
Whatever we find. I know we've got our eye on a high school player right now. Watch develop, and he's been on campus in the spring, so you don't know. It could be whatever. We'll find somebody. We'll be out in the spring, and you never know what you find.
Pat, walk us through the controversy on the kick return. Seemed like the special teams unit was coming after you a little bit there.
They were mad. The referee said they didn't see anybody within a foot of them. So the punt team, because we had the 2 young punters back there, I said our punt return team was going to be thud. We were going to try not to take them to the ground. I just blame it on the new spring game. We have to clean some things up. But I was back behind Rodney when he took off. But so on punt it was thud. On kickoff return it was whiz. And I might have forgotten. Whiz is like we do sometimes in pass play, we're not tackling. We didn't want Rodney or Sebo to get hit. They take enough hits. We really didn't need to see the older guys. That's why I didn't give MJ any reps on punt because we didn't need to see him returning punts. I've seen enough of him returning punts. So, but maybe I forgot there was thud. We'll look at the tape and and Sebo hit it, and the guys in the booth are like, he's gone, and I didn't see anybody touch him, and I was like, hey, let's let it go.
How would you say the punt team looked today?
You know what, I haven't looked at the stats yet, to be honest with you, that was the last thing I looked at, but, I'm looking at Caleb Junko at 49.5-yard average and one inside the 20, and, Junko's been on fire all spring. Jeff Jerk, didn't have a great day with his 38-yard average, but, I thought our punt team looked, I thought Junko, and again, we go back through, we spent a ton of time, I think I told you, in spring ball #1, we spent a ton of time on our punt team. We're gonna be better at punt team, we're not gonna be where we were. But as we went through everybody else's punt in the country, we evaluated everybody, it came down to the punt. I mean, people that were good, it wasn't like we were doing anything different, it's just like, it's like having, an offense without a quarterback. The quarterback is the main guy, the guy that's touching the ball, so, we had to make improvements, and I think, Caleb Junko's done an outstanding job.
Did the winner still get a special menu at dinner?
I don't know, it's supposed to, yeah, the winners, there's a lot of controversy there, kickoff return, we'll have to check the videotape, maybe it'll be nice to give it to everybody, it's a little bit different, draft is different, so, but yeah, it's gonna be steak and lobster for the winners, and, so that would be the defense, and the offense would be, I don't know, tofu and, tofu, ouch.
Pat, TJ and Derek each had 9 carries. Derek had 15 touches in total. How important was it to get those two maybe more reps than Rodney or Sebo? And how have those two figured to fit in along with guys like Rodney and Sebo who have a year under the offense and figure to be near the top of the order, like, so to speak, with the running backs?
Yeah, we wanted to see those young guys go, and we know what Rodney can do, what Sebo can do, and that looks like they had 3 carries a pop and had some pretty good yardage with it, looks like, if I'm reading it correctly. We want to give all those guys a look and see what they have. But we feel good with the stable running backs we've got. And TJ just being he's a baby right now, and he's got better through the spring. And again, Derek Davis is a big back, but he's thick. I looked at him walking out, and I was like, God, he's big. He's got some big legs, big calves.
Pat, now that you've had the complete run of spring, who do you feel are your 2 top freshmen on either side of the ball right now?
2 on either side, or 1 on offense, 1 on defense?
Well, I'm sorry, 1 on offense, 1 on defense.
And you say the freshman,
yes,
the true freshman of the 8 or 9 mid-year guys we had. I would say on offense, God, I wish I had the list in front of me. True freshman, I can tell you the guy that's been probably most impressive on offense as a freshman has been, I would say Israel Polk right now.
Okay.
I'm really impressed with him. I mean, he made somebody miss. I don't know if it was, that's not gonna help. There's a lot of names on there. Thanks, EJ. You just confused me. I'd say Izzy, it's nice to have another Izzy. I'd say Israel Polk had a nice spring and really smart. And, there was times they were making him play the X and the Z, so he's playing 2 positions as a true freshman. That's impressive. And then on defense, I guess there's probably not a question at all that it's Braylon Lovelace. He's looked like a man right now. He looks like a guy who can play for us right now. I've been really, really impressed with his maturity as a linebacker, his physicality, and his intelligence.
I was able to see the recruit, the signee, Zion Fowler, on the sideline. So how do you feel he will fit into this offense?
Yeah, we had a bunch of our, freshmen, that, aren't here. They're still in high school. They're going to prom next week. But Zion was one of them on the sideline. We had a few of them. He actually, visited. I think they were on spring break and was here the whole week listening and just catching up on the offense. But we think, he's a guy that can go up and get the ball. He's a guy that can leap and he's got good wheels, and we'll find out where he is mentally. The big thing is mentally. We know they're physically talented. Can they mentally pick up the offense?
Anything final? Right. Coach.